Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is Colin McGuigan for IFLTV. Delighted to be joined by Jalil Hackett here in Philadelphia. Jalil, it's been quite heated this week. Just first of all, I spoke to Pete Dobson yesterday. He said to me that you're out of your depth. He said that the people around you don't care about you. Just your reaction to those comments, first of all.
He's trying to sell a fight, and I appreciate him for that. I just always reverted back to let's just look at look in between the lines. 16-1, 9 knockouts. I can't name nobody he fought except for Conor Ben, and he may be able to say the same for me. I can't name nobody you fought, and difference between me and him, though, I only got 8 fights. You got 16, and I still can't name nobody you fought except for Conor Ben. Well, he got 17. My fault. But I can't name nobody you fought but Conor Ben. So it's like, yeah. Saturday's really going to show, like, he's just a hyped-up journeyman.
Do you believe that you can stop Pete Dobson on Saturday night, and do you think that you can do that in spectacular fashion?
I will stop Pete Dobson Saturday night. He got a whole lot of holes in this game. He an older fighter. He not really locked in for real. This ain't what he focusing on for real. He just doing this. He doing this for clout. Like he fighting because it sound good to tell people you're a professional boxer, but he ain't really on that for real.
Let me ask you a few questions on why you chose Matchroom. We've seen this week Shakur Stevenson linked with signing with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. What was the attraction for you? Why did you join with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn?
It was all about opportunity and I guess it would be for me. It was a new start. I wasn't really active in my last situation, and when talking to other promoters, or talking to all the promoters that reached out, really, Eddie and Matchroom just seemed like the best move because they promise activity, they promise opportunities to grow, and on top of that, I'm real close with Javon Ennis and his team. When he had signed with Matchroom, and I asked him what his thoughts on me signing with somebody was, he was like, man, shit, that Matchroom move is a no-brainer.
I want to ask your opinion on Shakur Stevenson. He's got a lot of critiques over the past week since his fight in Newark. Does that add an extra pressure for you in front of, people from your area whenever you're fighting here to put on a spectacular performance? Because we've seen all of the critics that Shakur's got.
I feel like it's always pressure from the start. From the time you turn pro, every night you got to go out there and impress the fans. Because if they don't like what they seeing, they're going to stop showing up. As far as for Shakur, I know the fans really been giving him hell as far as the fights. But looking at it from a boxer standpoint, at the end of the day, hate it or love it, he's winning. It's not like he's fighting these guys and they robbing these guys that he's fighting. He's winning. He's just not winning in knockout fashion like, the guys that he's trying to fight, like Tank or like Loma. Like he not knocking people out, but he's winning though. So it's like on one hand it's like, you can't be mad, but on the other hand it's like, it's all part of the game.
You've sparred Shakur, I believe, before, maybe a few years ago, and you've sparred Tank, obviously. How do you think that fight goes if it is made? Because Eddie said if he signs Shakur, in his 3-fight plan, he does want him to fight Tank.
Shakur, he's a hell of a boxer. Tank, he's a hell of a puncher. That'll be a classic boxer versus puncher. I think that Tank wins that fight in a later round stoppage.
Last one for me before I let you go. Do you have a message for Pete Dobson if he's watching this interview ahead of tomorrow night's fight? Can you look down that camera and tell Pete Dobson how it's going to end?
Really, it's just he, like I told him on the stage, he on the clock. His time ticking. Another loss, back-to-back losses at 34 years old don't look good. And another thing too, I need to get in touch with you because I need to ask you why you had your manager remove that loss you took in Russia earlier this year off your record.
So I actually spoke to him about that loss in Russia, and he said it was an exhibition bout. He said that that's why it isn't classified on his record. But then when I asked him about that, he started talking about your sparring story of getting knocked out in sparring. Is that true?
That story is all he say, she say. His fight in Russia is a full video of the fight of him getting his ass whipped by a dude that's making his pro debut. So, you know, like I said, he on the clock.
Jalil, we look forward to your performance tomorrow night and look forward to getting a chat with you after that and seeing what's next for you. Thank you very much for your time.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.